In the AI era, it looks like human customer service is going to be for VIPs. Welcome back to the AI Daily Brief Headlines Edition, all the daily AI news you need in around 5 minutes. We kick off today with the latest from Klarna. Quick TLDR on their AI transformation if you haven't been following along. A couple of years ago, the company set out to rip out their SaaS services and use AI coding to replace them. Then the company also laid off around 700 customer service workers to replace them with AI chatbots and voice agents. Recently, however, it seemed like they had been going back to a more hybrid structure, where there would be a combination of AI service and human customer service, and CEO Sebastian Siemiatkowski seems to be thinking along those lines. At the London edition of the South by Southwest conference, he said, "Two things can be true at the same time. We think offering human customer service is always going to be a VIP thing. We can use AI to automatically take away boring jobs, things that are manual work, but we are also going to promise our customers to have a human connection. Basically, the plan is to combine the best of both worlds, which seems to me to be exactly the pattern that we're likely to see in other areas." Now, Siemiatkowski also noted that the company's engineering positions haven't shrunk as much as other departments, even though they're all using AI to increase their productivity. He did note that, quote, "What I'm seeing internally is a new rise of business people who are coding themselves. I think that category of people will become even more valuable going forward." Going a little bit deeper, Siemiatkowski was not arguing that all of a sudden business people are going to replace the coders, but that by being able to code even in a very basic manner, they're better able to understand and communicate the specs of what they need to be built. This would mirror the pattern that we're seeing, certainly in Superintelligent and lots of other startups, where feature discussions are now entirely had with prototypes thanks to things like Lovable and Bolt. So for those keeping score at home, we are still very in the midst of this transformation, but Klarna continues to be an interesting case study for those who want to see how this all might shake out. Moving over to Redmond, Washington, Microsoft has reshuffled their executive lineup for a big push in enterprise agents. Interestingly, Ryan Rolandski, the CEO of the LinkedIn division, has been appointed to lead the teams in charge of the Office productivity suite. Rolandski has been at the head of LinkedIn since 2020, leading a big growth push, and within Office, he will be tasked with speeding up the deployment of AI tools and driving enterprise adoption. His new role will report into Rajesh Jha, one of the company's top engineering executives who was given responsibility for consolidating AI tools and platform groups in January. Charles Lamanna, who runs the Dynamics 365 line of sales and business planning software, will also be transferred from the cloud division to Jha's team. It sort of sounds like Microsoft is bringing everything enterprise agents under Jha, while appointing a proven leader to shepherd the agentic iteration of the Office suite. One question that's not clear is where Mustafa Suleyman fits in all of this shuffle. Suleyman was, of course, the big-ticket acquisition in March of last year and appointed the CEO of Microsoft AI. His work seems now primarily focused on consumer applications of AI, with Suleyman envisioning a personality-filled AI companion. It's worth noting that we are dealing with wildly divergent trends with AI right now. On the one hand, it is obviously incredibly potent and powerful for the enterprise, and that's where a lot of our attention certainly is. But consumers are using these tools in totally different ways. Life coaching, relationship support, lightweight therapy. These use cases are growing as fast as anything in the enterprise, which can be kind of head-spinning for a company that's trying to deal with all of that at once. Moving over into the hardware side of the business, AMD has NVIDIA in its sights with a new acquisition. The chipmaker has acquired an AI software optimization startup called Bream for an undisclosed amount. The company was acquired while it was still in stealth mode, but according to their bare bones website, they're working on, quote, "enabling ML applications on a diverse set of architectures and unlocking the hardware capabilities through engineering choices made at every level of the stack, from model inference systems through runtime systems and ML frameworks to compilers." If your brain melted with all of that jargon, they appear to be creating software that allows AI models to run on a variety of different hardware. In a press release, AMD said that the acquisition will help fulfill its commitment to, quote, "building a high-performance open AI software ecosystem that empowers developers and drive innovation." Open is certainly the key word for the second-ranked AI chip manufacturer. One of the biggest roadblocks for AMD hasn't just been about matching the performance of NVIDIA's chips, but rather overcoming compatibility issues. Most of the world's LLMs are built on NVIDIA's CUDA platform and optimized to run on their hardware and software. In that regard, Bream feels like a natural fit to solve AMD's problem. In that sole blog post from their website published back in November, they specifically referenced the chipmaker, writing, "In recent years, the hardware industry has made strides towards providing viable alternatives to NVIDIA hardware for server-side inference. Solutions such as AMD's Instinct GPUs offer strong performance characteristics, but it remains a challenge to harness that performance in practice, as workloads are typically tuned extensively with NVIDIA GPUs in mind." The issue is so prominent for AMD that CEO Lisa Su drilled the point home during a recent hearing in Congress. She said that for the US to remain a leader in AI, There needs to be a commitment to open ecosystems that allow, quote, hardware, software, and models from different vendors to work together. This accelerates innovation, reduces barriers to entry, strengthens security through transparency, and creates healthier, more competitive markets. So will this acquisition make a difference? Only time will tell, but for now, that is going to do it for today's AI Daily Brief Headlines edition. Next up, the main episode.